I've never seen a yacht like this in my dreams. Sailing the seas in boats so grand, it seems. But we're just humble sailors, salt upon our cheeks, gold classic every day of the week.
Hey everybody, welcome back to BoatFools Sailing. Really excited about this week's episode. We're going to New York State to find the coolest boats for sale for less than $35,000. And my co-host today is my lifer friend, Charlie Strout, hot from New York City, down in the Big Apple. He's been a lifer sailor. He's sailed with me. He's a big dinghy sailor, but he made a terrible mistake this last year and a half and bought a powerboat. Charlie, what's your excuse?
Kind of liking it. It's kind of nice.
You get there faster.
You do. It's kind of nice. Look, I love sailing. I own a laser, had a 470 for a while, crazy boat, love it. Nutcase boat, really like that thing. So, love dinghies, love the whole thing.
I'm familiar with the 470 because you put me out on the trapeze about 2 summers ago. And that was like putting a 400-pound tuna out on a piece of dental floss out over the water. It was a little scary.
If I had more crazy friends like you, I'd still have that boat.
Yeah,
Couldn't get anyone else to go out in it. It's terrible.
Well, at least you found yourself a good boat. And we're going to profile that boat probably next summer, I hope, because it's a really neat boat. And it's built by Pearson. But in the meantime, do you have some good picks for this week's top 10?
I do. Great. It's the best picks.
The best picks. All right. Well, we're going to see about that. So for those of you who aren't familiar with this, we're going to score and rate these boats. We're going to go through them. I have chosen my 3 favorite. Charlie has chosen his 3 favorite. Then we have a few honorable mentions. And then we're going to rate them and come up with a number 1. So it should be a lot of fun. Again, the top 10 coolest boats in New York State for less than $35,000. Let's go have some fun. All right, here's a closer look at our BoatFools Top Sailboat scorecard. Typically, we rate 10 boats. Today, we're only doing 6 because of time constraints, and there'll be 4 honorable mentions. Your lowest point you can get is 1. The highest you can get is 5, and you can score at half-point increments in between that. So the 5 categories are as follows. Seamanship. Is the boat neat and tidy, or is it a disaster? If it's a disaster, you're going to get a 1. If it's neat and tidy, you're probably going to get a 4 or a 5. Affordability is not just price, it's also how much money is it going to take to maintain this boat. So it's a combination of things. Comfort. We do look at the comfort ratio for this, but that's a little bit ethereal. So we're also looking at whether or not the boat's going to be comfortable to hang out on. Does it have a big cockpit? Is the down below suitable for your needs? Does it have headroom, etc.? Usability. How functional is this boat? Is it easy to get off the mooring or get off the dock and go sailing based on your intended use? Or is it going to take you an hour to get the sails hanged on? Or can you just drop the mooring and go? How easy is it to use this boat, whether you're single-handing or with a bunch of people? And is she pretty, the 5th category? Now, this is a little bit controversial because it is subjective, but from our perspective, if you're rowing away from your boat or motoring away from your boat in a dinghy, you want to look back and say, that's a pretty boat. And then you come up with your total for that boat and so on. So this is the scorecard. This is what we use every time. All right, let's get back to it. Okay, so my first pick this week is a 1979 Cal 39. And I like this boat not only for the size of it, because she's a big boat at 39 feet, but it's going to be a fast, fun, big boat for a big family, coastal cruising, a little bit of racing. But she's listed at $35,000, so she's right at the top of the range, right? And these Cal boats, a Cal boat just won the Newport Bermuda race last summer. A 40-year-old boat, obviously a little bit modified for the race, but it's still, on corrected time, won the whole kit and caboodle. So let's look at a couple pictures because I really dig this boat. You got the stack pack, lazy jacks, bimini, dodger, radar tower there, roller furling, and I love the transom on this boat. I mean, I think it's really pretty. You've got a transom hung ladder. You've got some big beefy primaries, though they don't look like they are self-tailing winches there. The secondaries are, but not the primaries. Big wheel, auto helm, and it just looks like it's been well maintained. And this like the bright work on the tow rail all looks good. You've got a big anchor wheel. It doesn't look like there's a windlass, which is kind of a bummer, but but it's definitely rigged for doing some serious sailing. And there's your Traveler. There's your. I mean, look at the size of that cockpit. It's sort of like the cockpit on the Morgan that you experienced this summer. Big.
I like this boat too. I like this boat, but keep going.
Oh, it does have self-tailing primaries, or those are the secondaries. Sorry. So I'll keep going. Sorry. Here we go. I want to get down below, but there's so many pictures in this one. There's your instruments are decent. There's no engine hours shown on there, and you're a little bit dated on your VHF. The down below looks nice. All the wood looks like it's been well maintained. I don't see any obvious water staining. The fabric is not my first choice for the seat cushions, but all looks serviceable. There's your quarter berth. There's your galley. You got a nice gimbal 2-burner stove there, and it looks like you can tuck yourself in there and be well protected. And again, you got refrigeration on this boat. There's your switchboard. Older stereo, auto helm there. There's your nav station. There's nice features, like these little glass doors on the cabinet there. It's pretty attractive. So obviously late 70s design, which is fairly prolific out there. All very similar, but nice big V berth. And let's see, a lot of pictures. So nice cedar lined closet there. Look at that. Beautiful. The head looks nice. Toilet looks a little bit older, but fine. You got a shower in there. And you got a Perkins 4108 diesel, which is the same engine I have. Can't say enough about that. But let's look at this. She's been updated, nicely equipped, and you've got all sorts of instruments on here. And you get down to a laundry list of things that have been updated on this boat and done. You got a stack pack as of 2004, new Bimini sail cover as of 2000. You've got refrigeration as of 2004. You got new ports as of 08. Electric main winch, that's nice. And radar as of 2010. Lifelines updated in 2012. Max prop as of 2013. On and on and on. We're not going to get into all these, but she holds 130 gallons of water, 36 gallons of diesel, and I just think it's a cool boat. So I'm going to flip over to the sailboat data on this. We don't know the engine hours, but I believe it is the original Perkins on this. It doesn't say. But flipping over to the sailboat data on this Cal, this is a fast boat. There she is under sail, and there is her layout there. She is 39 feet overall, length on water of 32, a beam of 12 feet, nice and wide, a max draft of almost 7 feet at 6.67, and it's got a balsa cord deck, fiberglass hull, and the Perkins 4108. Her sail area displacement, Charlie, at nearly 18 at 17.46. That is a fast boat. Comfort ratio of 28, so it's near that 30 mark. She is a moderate displacement at 229, and a nice stiff boat at 41 with the ballast displacement, and an S factor of 2.42 and a capsizing screening of 1.87. So you can do open ocean racing on these boats with a capsizing screening of under 2. So anyway, if you're looking for sort of a very versatile, slick, all-purpose boat for cruising racing, that's my pick. She's my first entry in today's extravaganza.
Nice.
Yeah?
I like this boat. Yeah, I like it. I think the things you're talking about I really like. Looks fast. Like, I like a boat that performs again, kind of dingy sailor. A couple things I'm a little concerned about. A lot of stuff looks really old. So I'm saying, do I need to replace the navigation stuff? And there's some watermarks on some of the hull. So I feel like this is ton of potential boat. But you got to be willing to know that when you're going to have to put some elbow grease, I think, into this. But the bones are there, as they say. I
Exactly.
Really great boat, really, really nice. But you're gonna have to do some work. I think there's a lot of get your survey and be prepared to do some varnish.
Yeah, and you're all citified now, so you don't like to get your hands dirty as much as the next guy. But up here in Maine, we like to do a little work. No, but you're right. It needs that TLC, and it needs somebody who's willing to put in the effort to keep her up.
Yeah.
And I think these Cal boats deserve that, especially the Cal 40 is an extremely popular boat, and they're hard to find. And this is just a foot shorter, so you could have a lot of fun with this boat. But anyway, I agree with you. Some of the instruments look tired, and you're going to be investing in that. But I think mostly this boat looks like it's worth it.
Yeah, I think it's going to perform. That's the thing I like about the boat. I think it's going to be fun to sail. So I mean, I really like this boat. I just think you got to go in with your eyes wide open on there might be some stuff.
100%. And as with all of these boats, you got to get a survey. No questions asked. All right. Well, let's go to the tape and score it up, shall we?
Sounds good.
You got your scorecard?
Got it.
Good man.
Right.
All right. Let's do it.
So I looked at a lot of boats. This is one of my top 3 of all the boats for sale in the tri-state area in New York City here. So I really love this Tartan, 1978, and just looks like a boat that's in great shape. Like somebody loved this boat. It's amazing. So if you look at the pictures and you kind of flip through, look at all that bright work. It's a good size. It's a very, very stable, sort of steady boat. A lot can be said. Bring your whole family out, cruise, kind of go anywhere. It's a bit of a heavy boat, but I mean, look at this picture. You got all that. The canvas alone is probably worth half the price of the boat. It's like crazy. I mean, I don't know who.
It's a nice cockpit.
Well, I mean, the cockpit's nuts. This boat's for $33,000. I mean, just to get a cockpit redone, it's going to cost that much. So somebody loved this boat. I love this boat. I love the love that went into this boat. So I think that this is just like a nice thing. Look at that table.
Yeah.
We're not even down below, right?
No, we're not even. Oh, here we go. Look at this.
I mean, look. It's a bit. Some of the older things. Some hours on the engine. I don't know, Tris, is that a lot for you, or?
It's not. If it's been well maintained, 3,000 hours. The rule of thumb is that for every 1,000 hours on a marine diesel engine is equivalent to about 25,000 miles on your car. So you can think about it that way. So that's about 75,000 miles, right? You're still driving your car at 75,000 miles.
I still am. That's good. Since I own a motorboat, I'm glad that I'm learning this from you. But thanks. Because I am a true boat fool here.
Yeah.
Look at this 3-berth, right? It looks like it's brand new.
That's nice.
This is just a beautiful, beautiful boat. I'm shocked.
It's a nice looking galley. Yeah, this is beautiful. Hey, not to put you on the spot, Charlie, but where is Plattsburgh, New York, where this is? Is that up on Ontario or Erie?
I have no idea. I get confused once I leave, Manhattan. That's actually not true. I can go north about an hour and a half. It's either that or Maine. I'm either in, New York City or Maine, so I don't know what Plattsburgh. I can look it up.
We'll look it up. We'll put a map on here. But this is beautiful. The main salon is really pretty, and I love these pipe berths with the cutout for your feet.
I know. It's like this throwback, 1978, right? They kind of don't design them like this anymore, but there was something cool about the way that they did it, and you can see what they're thinking.
I agree. Nice Westerbeek diesel.
Yeah. But the pictures go on and on.
Yeah, there's 65 of them. So there's your quarter berth. Older radar. Stuff. But
I think you sort of get, the idea that someone loved this boat. It's crazy how South Burlington, that might mean it was only in freshwater that may have helped it too. But
yeah, for sure. I'm just scrolling down so you can look at.
They don't have much information on it, but look at the.
Yeah, it's a Westerbeek with 3,000 hours on it, which again is not. That's if it's been well maintained. That's basically its half-life.
Right.
Yeah. So. You got a ton of stuff here, which we're not going to go through, but whoever's interested in this boat, they should go through this because this is, I agree with you, Charlie, this is a pretty boat. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff here, and it looks like it's been, like you said, really well maintained. And it also comes with a brand new canvas winter cover. Those are very expensive. They start at $6,000.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about this boat is, I have a feeling we'll cut to the data in a second, that it's not as as fast maybe as some of the other ones that are around for its size.
Well, let's take a look at the numbers then. And the first thing that jumps out at me, Charlie, is this is a Sparkman and Stevens design, which obviously they were prolific and made beautiful, beautiful boats. And I don't know if you know this, but my stepfather, we used to charter a Tartan 37 before he bought Moondance. So I love these boats. It is centerboard. And let's see, 37, just over 37 feet length overall, 28 and a half feet on the water, a beam of almost 12 feet, 11 and 3/4 feet. 486 of these were made. That's a very, very productive run of boats. And again, Sparkman and Stevens, very successful model for them. Westerby 50 with 41 horsepower, holds 50 gallons of diesel, 90 gallons of water. Sailor displacement is 16, just over 16. That's fine. It's just not going to perform particularly well in light air, but the harder it blows, the faster she'll go. And she's got a ballast displacement of 48, a very stiff boat. She's heavy displacement at 298, comfort ratio of nearly 30 at 28.91, capsizing screen of 1.89. Again, you can take her offshore racing if you wanted to, and an S factor of 1.7. So not bad numbers, actually, Charlie. And the fact that it's Sparkman Stevens design is winner chicken dinner as far as I'm concerned. It's a pretty boat.
Yeah, I love it. Again,
Really
look at boats, definitely made my top 3.
All right, so that it's a cool boat. Nice pick. Let's you want to vote it up, or do you have anything else to say about this one?
Let's just vote.
Let's go. Let's go to the tape. Let's vote. All right. All right, so we're back. We are back with my second pick of the day, which, as you can see in front of you, is a 1982 Sabre Mark I. She's 30 feet long, list price of $16,900, located in Northport, New York, which I happen to know, Charlie, is on Long Island. So, you know how I know that? Because it says offered by... It says offered by Long Island Marine Group. So she's broke her own, so that's how I know she's in Long Island. But I have a strong affinity for Sabres. I love this size. If you're looking to break into sailing and have your first boat, I love these Sabre 30s. It's a great size. I'm going to blast through the pictures here. She's been well maintained. Really clean boat, and that's a good mark of seamanship, and that's what we're all about, especially when you're looking for a used boat, is to look for a boat that's been loved by its owner. Obviously, they like coffee. That's not included. It's probably cold and nasty by now. But the cockpit looks nice. Nice cushions. All the bright work looks nice. The decks look clean. The head looks fine. There's your switch panel. And there is your instrument cluster for your engine. And I can't read the hours on there, but we'll look and see what we can find out about that. But comes with a cover. And that is fantastic. These are expensive, and this would save you a lot of money not to have it shrink wrapped. It's better for the earth too. But in any event, I'm trying to get to the pictures of down below because it's pretty sweet, and it's got everything you need to be a nice weekender, a coastal cruiser. Why they put so many pictures on here? They're all the same thing. Here we go. I'm not a fan of the fabric, so don't put that into your judging formulas today, Charlie. The sole floor looks nice.
No, I had to put that in. It's like, I mean, maybe I am a fan. Maybe I am a fan of that.
You're offended by the fabric? Well, I don't.
I said maybe I'm a fan. Maybe
You might like the fabric. I've never seen you wear plaid, but anyway, there's your V-berth. It's set up. It's ready to go. There's not a lot of muss, not a lot of fuss, a little cutout for your feet there. This thing looks turnkey, and these Sabres are built to last. They're beautiful boats, I think, and just classic lines. And look at that sole floor. I mean, you could eat off of that. It's gorgeous. It sinks almost center line, which is great, which is what you want. A couple steps up your companionway. There's looking into a cabinet. There's one of your settees. There's your head, looks clean. Even toilet paper on there. It's turnkey. And the door closes. I like that. This is an important thing to bring up. See how the door is closed here? If the doors aren't fitting properly and closing properly on a boat you're looking at, and they don't fit the jambs right, the frame right, that is a cause for concern. So always test that out when you're looking at a used boat. I do it all the time. And people are like, why are you opening and closing doors? Excuse me. And I'm trying to find out if they work.
Yeah.
I just lost my voice. But look at this wiring job.
I'm just thinking I have the same problem with my house that I'm starting to worry about. Doors aren't closing.
It's called settling, right? And you don't want your boat to settle too much.
Yeah.
But
Or your house there.
your house, yeah, then you might have a foundation issue. But here's a nice little Westerbeek in here, Raycor fuel filter. It all looks, serviceable and great. The deck looks nice. I don't see any areas of obvious concern. Obviously, there's your chain plate there. You got to get a surveyor to come through. These all look healthy, stainless, well grounded. It looked like I just saw a grounding wire. But look at that. It's a nice, pretty boat. So what can we learn about this? It just says, basically, it's all praise for the Sabre design and manufacture and build quality, and I agree with that. It's got an enclosed, how do we know this? It's got a holding tank, that's never been used on this boat. New waste hoses, it's got a cockpit table, it's got a stereo system, hot and cold pressure, full pressure water system on there, excuse this little pop-up, and it's got that boat cover, and you've got, look at this, Hallett Sails, made by Hallett Sails in Yarmouth, Maine.
Nice.
So all comes back to Maine. Dodgers new as of 2018, and again, that custom cover. So I'm going to switch over to the sailboat data real quick because I think this is a really slick boat and a great entry-level boat for someone looking to get into a keel boat or downsize from a bigger boat. Classic Sabre lines, classic Sabre build, and she is 29.92 feet overall, 24 feet on the water. 10-foot beam, max draft of only 5 feet, so you can get in some shallow water with this boat. 100 of these made between 1979 and 1982. Fiberglass hull, I'll find out about the decks. I reckon they're probably balsa cord. Built right here in Casco, Maine. And this says it's a Volvo, but that's a Westerbeek on the subject boat. Sail area displacement of nearly 16.5, ballast displacement of nearly 40 at 39.53, comfort ratio of 24, so a little bit lower on the comfort ratio. It's a shorter water line, lighter boat. Capsizing, 1.96, so you could take her offshore racing if you wanted to, and an S factor of 1.88. So she's going to perform pretty well. You could club race this, cruise race it, and spinnaker race it, the whole 9 yards. Good boats, solid boats. I love this Sabre.
Yeah, I know you like the Sabres. I like the Sabres too. They're just nice boats. I mean, this is a nice boat. Like, there's no question about it. I also like the idea that it is small, so it's really good to get yourself started. Like, everyone sometimes thinks a bigger boat is better, but sometimes a bigger boat's just more hassle. So I just think this is a great boat for the right person, and it has everything you need.
Totally agree.
Really
yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's great for a couple or a small family, and you can solo sail this thing easily. As you know, Sabre's solid boats can't go wrong.
Really good.
And I think it's a great sort of mid-sized boat. Not too small, not too big.
Yeah.
All right, want to vote?
Let's do it.
Let's vote it.
All right, Tris, this is my second one I'm bringing here for the competition.
All
First
right.
of all, $15,000. Awesome price. I mean, if you can get in the game for $15,000 with a decent boat, you're winning. And that's one of the reasons I really like this boat. But it's also CNC 32. Nice boat, old but not totally ancient. Nice looking boat. I kind of like the green. Not everyone likes the green, but I like the green.
I like the green, Charlie. I like it.
Okay.
It's got a nice stack pack on there too. All right.
Yeah, it looks like it's sailed in Lake Ontario, so fresh water might help it a little bit. I actually spent a lot of time in Ontario, so I love it up there, although this is in northern New York. But just like I think it's just a nice looking boat. Not that big, but when you get down below, I'll tell you what I like about it. I really like, and it's sort of strange, I really like the way it's got a table down below. And this is because, like, for all those people who want to be digital nomads out there.
Yeah, look at that.
Waiting for you to take your laptop and just forget the world and do whatever you're doing in a nice, comfy place on an extremely cheap boat. I mean, you can get a week-long Airbnb and it could cost you that more than that someplace, maybe a couple weeks. So the cushions look nice. The floorboards, obviously it's not a new boat, but kind of looks in good shape, and the price is kind of amazing. So, this is one of the reasons why I would definitely check this boat if you want to get in the game for the start. It's got a head. It's got everything you kind of need. Obviously, it's not, it's only 32 feet, which I think I said before. I kind of like if it's smaller because even at the dock, it's a little easier to push it around or something if you're just getting started. So, really, really great boat. You want to take a look at the data?
Yeah, I was just going to note a couple of things. Freshwater since 1995, so you're correct. Let's look at the data, and then I'll give you my thoughts on this boat, because I do like it. All right, so here we go. CNC 32. I don't recall seeing if she was keel or centerboards, but we'll find out. So length overall of 31.5 feet, length on the water at 24.67, beam of just over 10 feet at 10.25, which is great. Fiberglass construction. I think those decks are cored with balsa, but I'll find out and put that up on the screen. First built in 1980. It doesn't tell us how many were built of this model, but I know they are very successful. It says a universal atomic 4 on this. I don't know what the subject boat is. We'll double check on that. 30 gallons of water, 20 gallons of diesel. Sail area displacement of 16.3, which is great. Ballast displacement of 40.29, so a nice stiff boat. She's going to hold up in a breeze. Heavy displacement at 287, comfort ratio of 25.25 basically, so a little bit lower than that 30 mark that we strive for. Capsizing screening of 1.93, so you could race this offshore if you so choose, and a speed factor of 1.79. I mean, all decent numbers, sort of typical numbers, and we know from racing against CNCs that they're fast, and their numbers sort of belie their true speed. I mean, they're faster than you would think. And what I did notice about this, just popping back to the photos, is the primary winches are not self-tailing. So that's something that is an easy, though not necessarily inexpensive fix, because those primary winches, and I admit that secondary one is self-tailing, but these big primaries are not. But not the end of the world. You can deal with that. Just you need two hands really to crank in the jib. Or a worthy crew member. But, those, if you can find some used self-tailings, you can replace those out. That's an easy DIY. But a couple of the instruments look a little older, but I love these CNCs. I love the split backstay on this, so your head's not cranking into it every time you're sitting back there on the helm on your little hump here. And that hump, by the way, is great for when the boat's heeling, right? So you can have something to sit against. And these boats are well made, and made in Canada. And, I think this is definitely a worthy number 2, Charlie. Nicely played. Obviously ship to shore power here too, which is nice. So
it's nice. I think you should just put this on a truck, take it to the Caribbean, and just forget the world.
Right? Your $15,000 mobile office. I mean,
I know.
And you can write it off.
And good catch on the winches.
Well, that's what I do. But, it's nice keel step mast, so all that's great. And I think that sole floor, you could skate on that. It looks perfect. Yeah, I like this boat. All right, let's score it up. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right. All right, here we go. My last pick of the day, Charlie, is a new arrival to Yacht World. It is a 1982 Niagara 35, located in Fairhaven, New York, which, for those of you who don't know, is western upstate New York. It's on Ontario or Erie. It's fresh water, I know that. Ontario?
No, it's Syracuse.
All right. Well, it's up there. List price of $26,000. And I really dig the look of these Niagaras. So she's been a freshwater boat. You've got the Dodger Bimini, nice sail cover, and just sort of classic, comfortable boat lines on this. It's got an interesting traveler system. It's not a standard traveler. It's just blocks and tackle. But looks like the main's a little older, but I love the look of this boat. It reminds me a little bit of my Morgan. I'm not a big fan of the fabric choice, but hey, to each their own. But the down below is nice and tidy, and there's your nav station. It comes with a microwave. There's your head, which you walk through. It's an interesting layout. You walk through the head to get to the main salon area. There's your sink, and it's sort of like a railroad apartment in New York City. There's your galley with a cooktop. There's your gimbaled stove. And these pictures are a little dark, which I apologize for. So here's your mast, which has a nice mast cover sleeve on it. That goes up into your V-berth. So we're looking from the perspective of the galley. And then this is looking back. So your companionway is actually behind this wall here. Whoops. And I don't know if you can see that. So you've got a quarter berth here and a quarter berth here, and the head is between. So you come down your companionway into where your quarter berths are. You walk through the head or through the galley into the main salon area. It's kind of interesting. It's an unusual layout, which I kind of dig. So the underside looks great. All the paint looks great. The only thing that's a little bit dicey about this is it's a semi-balanced spade rudder back here, which I would be a little nervous about knocking off because there's no skeg in front of that, and it sort of has this overhang. But I don't know. It's an unusual design, but it looks like it'd be a very comfortable boat for a family. A lot of pictures of the bottom paint, but some nice hatches up here that open up to allow for ventilation, and nice high bulwarks on this. So you have some toe grip down there if you're heeling, but I think it's a pretty sweet boat. So like I said, freshwater boat ready to go. It has a new full batten main plus a main from 1986, which is also full batten. You've got an 85, a 110, 126, 150% Genoas, roller furling, Westerbeek 27 horsepower 4-cylinder diesel with a 2-bladed prop. We saw that. Holds 40 gallons, two 40-gallon water tanks, 30 gallons of fuel. All sorts of items that we're not going to get through here, but it does have, what did I notice? It does have AC, it has refrigeration, auto helm, and a Garmin chart plotter. So it's pretty loaded for bear. And I was trying to see if it had any other information on the engine hours. 1,800 hours on that Westerbeek. So if you go back to your 25,000 miles per 1,000 hours on your diesel, this is low miles. And low engine hours. So looking at the sailboat data, here is your profile, which here she is under sail. Here's her profile layout. So this is that funky, what I was talking about, your 2 quarter berths. You come down the companionway, galleys to port, head is to starboard, and then you walk through either one of those to get into your main salon area. So I hadn't seen that before. I think it's kind of cool. Length overall, just over 35 feet. Length on water, just about 27 feet at 26.67. Beam of nearly 12 feet, 11.42. So a lot of room down there. Max draft of 5, just over 5 feet at 5.17. Fiberglass hull with a balsa cord deck. And 260 of these were made between 1978 and 1990. And built in Canada. And it's a Westerbeek, not a Universal, so ignore that. And sail area displacement of 16.5, ballast displacement nearly 40 at 39.29, heavy displacement at 329, and a comfort ratio of nearly 30 at 28.92, capsizing screening of under 2 at 1.9, and an S factor of 1.5.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know what I love most about this boat is that
I chose it.
Well, there's a microwave and a coffee maker just like hanging out, man. It's just like I just love this like featured pictures on this thing. But no, I think this is a cool boat. I give it a lot of credit for being kind of a different boat, right? Like as you said, we see a lot of boats that are really the same. Like the layout being kind of funky, maybe not for everyone, but I like the different. Again, I don't know who's designing these cabin cushions, but I'm not totally a fan of like a lot. I guess I like plain green, but.
I prefer a solid color, don't you? I mean that patterning would make me nauseous out at sea.
I don't get it. I guess somebody thought it was a good idea, but a lot of these boats were built like this is 1982, right? The 70s weren't necessarily the best, designing decade.
They're not really the tastemakers, right? So, I agree with you. I'm not a fan of that fabric. I don't know why they do it, but that's that can be fixed. You can get slip covers for them or whatever, but. But I think it'd be a great family boat, a great first cruiser, and it's up on the lake. So if you're up in northern New York, this is great for you. If you want to bring it around the St. Lawrence or down through Lake Champlain, down the Hudson and all that, you could bring it down to the ocean. So it's possible to get there from here.
Yeah, I agree. I think this could be a lot of fun.
All right. Well, let's vote it up.
Let's do it.
All right. All right, what do you got, Charlie, for your last one?
So boat for you, Tris. Another Sabre. Like the Sabre boats. 34, good length, $34,000. So right at the top of the range. 1990. So, I mean, newer, and it doesn't necessarily make a big difference, but sometimes newer is newer. So there's a lot of nice stuff. This boat looks like somebody like cared about this boat. Really nice size, looking good. Now I'm looking at the winches. Look at those self-tailing winches we got there for you, Tris. We got someone with a hat, which, you know, good.
Hat is good. Keep the sun off your face.
Looks like a whisker pole, you know, roller furling, nice looking canvas, nice ladder.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks solid to me. And I think it's more expensive than some of the other ones, but I think you're getting what you're paying for. Cushions, I like they're solid, look like they're a little, maybe need, you know, it's not that expensive to make them a little shinier, maybe recover them or something, but they still look serviceable. So I don't think you need to do it.
Totally. And solid pattern.
Solid pattern. I mean, but just look at that. Really nice, solid design. I mean, I think if you're getting, you know, looking to get going, you can tell, well, it looks like a little varnish work could be done, but look, for $35,000 for this kind of boat, you know, this is definitely one of the ones that made the list easily, I would say.
Yeah, this is a solid choice. You know, I love these Sabres. I'm a sucker for a Sabre. I am noticing, and I'm not throwing a flag on this, Charlie, but it's located in someplace in New Jersey.
We went tri-state area. That's all right.
You know, maybe there's a half-point deduction just for being out of New York State, but I guess.
There was one. Yeah. There was one. I think might have been one of your other picks that didn't make it might have been out of the range, but New Jersey's close. I can almost see New Jersey from where I am.
All right. So there was one. What did I notice about this? Oh, you mentioned there's something to be said about newer boats, and I will say the primary one is that it'll be much easier to get insurance for a boat like this. We're coming up on 2024, so any boat made in 1984 or newer, you'll be able to get insurance for with less hassle than if it's an older boat. All of our other boats in this list are older than 1984. You can still get insurance. It's just a little bit more difficult and a little bit more expensive. And it helps if you take a sailing course or if you have a resume of sailing. So that's, for me, that's the number one hook for getting a newer boat like this, Charlie. You know, 1990, you'll be able to get insurance without breaking a sweat, and through Geico or Progressive or any of the national ones. If you have an older boat, it's going to take a little more digging, but you will be able to find insurance. But this is a pretty boat. Let's look at the old sailboat data.
Do it.
So she is the 34-2 model. And, you know, nice fin keel, spade rudder, and let's see, length overall is 34.17, length along the water of 28.25, a beam of just over 11 at 11.17, max draft of 6 feet, fiberglass construction. We'll find out about the decks, but I believe they're cord. Last made in 1991, 170 of these were made, so a pretty successful run for Sabre, and made here in Maine, of course. Westerbeek diesel. 75 gallons of water she holds, 25 gallons of diesel. Sail area displacement of just over 17 at 17.05, so a pretty quick boat in lighter air. Nice stiff boat at 40 with the ballast displacement. Moderate displacement at 227. Comfort ratio of under 24 at 23.79, so a little bit lower, and that's because of the you know, she's a lighter boat, and you know, the fin keel, and she's made for, you know, racing cruising, and capsizing rating of 1.98, so you can race offshore if you so chose, and an S factor 2.4. So a faster boat, the heavier it blows, the faster she goes. These boats stand up well in a stiff breeze, and they go when it's windy. My stepfather's Sabre 36 just loves those high wind days with the right sail configuration. Yeah, I like this boat, Charlie. I mean, not just because she's 1990, but I think a 34 is a nice size. It's not too big, not too small, sort of that sweet spot.
Yeah, I agree. I think sometimes you get boats that are over 40 feet or something, they're just a lot more to deal with.
Yeah.
So it's just like a little, if you just a family or just a couple or something, good, looks nice below. Really nice, solid.
All right, let's go to the tape.
Sounds good.
All right, nice choice. Docketed for Jersey. All right, so before we go to the tail of the tape and show you this week's winner out of these 6 amazing boats. There are 4 that did not make the cut, but they're honorable mention and they're worth checking out. And their links will be in the description below. So just quickly, we have a 1987 Erickson 32-2, $25,000 in Islip, New York, which is on Long Island. And this is just a real clean boat. So fast, comfortable cruiser, racer, you name it, neat boat. List price is $25,000, so sort of in that midpoint, and a 1987. I really liked it. So she did not make the final, but she's honorable mention. And then Charlie, you had this boat.
Yeah, it's a Pearson 31, $22,000. I just think Pearsons are good boats, good price, worth a look. This is a boat that I think could benefit from some better marketing because I don't think it's showing well in the pictures, but I think it's nice. Wing keel. So, didn't quite make it, but boy, kind of interesting.
Yeah, I agree. It's also in New Jersey, by the way, Charlie. Your geography is terrible. All right, so my second boat that did not make the cut this week was this boat, and it's a 1984 Beneteau First 34. So again, it's a 1984, so you should be able to get insurance for it easily throughout the next year. She's 35 feet. List price is $39,900, but here's the catch. It's $29,826 in the U.S. and it's marketed in Canadian dollars. So it's really $29,000, $826 if you buy it in the U.S. She's up in Rouse's Point, New York, which is up on one of the lakes there. Freshwater boat. And I just think these, if you're looking for like a very comfortable cruising boat, you got the Stack Pack, Bimini, Solar, Dodger, netting for your child or pet so they don't fall over. I kind of dug this boat. It was a very close call for me. She was almost in so she hails from Montreal, hence the pricing difference. But it's got all the bells and whistles, and you could take this boat anywhere. It's got a windlass, and just worth a close look in my humble opinion.
Yeah, I like this boat. Nice boat.
All right, here we go. Your last one that didn't make the cut.
Yeah, J70. Like, if I weren't a boat idiot instead of a boat fool, I would totally buy this boat. This is like a dinghy for grown-ups. Love this boat. If I were in a place where I could go out on a Wednesday night racing series and race around the cans with a bunch of friends, I would seriously buy this boat and seriously be in trouble with my financial advisor about this thing. But love it.
Cool boat. It's like a giant 470, right?
It's a giant 470. I mean, so super cool. Probably never going to buy it, but I just had to, part of me wants to buy this boat. Actually, a lot of me wants to buy it.
It's okay to dream, Charlie. It's okay to dream. All right, let's reveal the winners, shall we?
Sounds good.
All right. We've done some calculating. We've done some beeping. We've used an abacus and a calculator and our fingers. And what we're going to do is we're going to reveal our top 3 individually of the group, and then we're going to combine for the ultimate winner. So, for me, the number 3 boat in today's top 6 was the Sabre 34 that you see here. I thought it was a cool boat. Number 2, I had the Sabre 30. And then the number 1, of course, who wouldn't love this boat? The 1978 Tartan 37. What about you, Charlie? What did you have for your 3?
So I like your picks, first of all. Really, really great. So number 3, I had that Tartan 30. I love that boat. Really, really love it. But I had some other ones that...
Wait, the Tartan or the Sabre 30?
The Tartan 37 was my number 3 boat.
Oh, it was? Oh, wow. Okay.
I know. I love that boat. Like, really, it was neck and neck. It was between one point separated between 3 and 1. So I had the Tartan 37 was number 3 at 20.5 points. That Cal 39, I don't know, just the performance on it, and maybe it's, I don't know, the crazy masochist in me just wanted to fix that thing up. So
I couldn't agree more.
I love that boat. And then my number 1 pick was that Sabre 34, just all around.
All right.
All around.
So we had some overlap, which is interesting. We had some overlap.
You kind of convinced me with I didn't even have the Cal 39 is the thing. So, but really, really close heat on those boats.
All right. Well, let's do the big reveal on the final top 3 with the combined scores. So we combined our overall scores to come up with our 3rd, 2nd, and 1st place finishers. So coming in at number 3 is where'd she go? I know she's around here somewhere. The Sabre 30 at 41 points. We love this boat. We had a consensus that this was definitely worthy of the top 3. Really pretty boat. 41 points, the Sabre 30. Coming in at number 2, this is a little bit of a surprise, was the Sabre 34. So we have 2 Sabres in the top 3 this week, which maybe it's because we're both hail from Maine. I don't know, but these are really pretty boats, solid boats. And then let's kick it on the drums. Kick it on the drums, please. Coming in at number 1 this week is the 1978 Tartan 37. Just a showboat. She's hot, hot, hot. Any last words on this one, Charlie?
I didn't rank this one first, but definitely respect this choice as the winner and definitely well earned. Neck and neck with one of my other 2 boats. So I think this was
yeah, I agreed. And the scoring was so close. So number 3, the Sabre 30 was at 41 points. The Sabre 34 at 41.5 points, and the Tartan 37 at 42 points. That's a horse race right there. That was a ton of fun, Charlie. Check these boats out, guys. All the listings will be below in the description below. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Charlie. Thanks for riding shotgun this week.
Thank you.
Catamaran goes anywhere. BoatFools sailing in our modest vessels. Waves we wrestle, making all the sirens sing. Ocean air.